In what was pretty random news to most on Tuesday morning, Charania reported that the Phoenix Suns' big offseason acquisition, Bradley Beal, would miss the team's opening night matchup against the Warriors in San Francisco. Despite missing 1/3 of their big three, the Suns still got a very impressive victory last night, and today we're going to break down just how they did that. If you enjoyed this video though, then please give it a like, and if you're new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay up to date with my content. As mentioned in the intro, the Phoenix Suns knocked off the Golden State Warriors last night, as they did so by a score of 108 to 104. While the Suns were without Bradley Beal, it's important to mention the Warriors were without a core player of their own in Draymond Green, so keep that in mind. Even with that said, this Suns team looked very impressive, and let's get into why that was right now. Now, while I wasn't too crazy about the Suns head coaching hire of Frank Vogel, I was very interested how Frank and his staff would run this Suns team's offense, since in my eyes, he's not a great offensive coach. Well, to start the scoring off, this was a nice set from Phoenix. Nurkic screened for Book, which flows into a screen for KD, and that flows into a pick and roll. You notice Grayson Allen in the corner, and he rises up to the wing, and while the idea was to get Wiggins to leave the paint and let Nurkic get the open bucket, Nurkic still scores regardless of the help defense from Wiggins. Let's focus on the leading scorer of the game and the star of the show from last night, Devin Booker, as the Warriors were hesitant to match Curry on Book last night, and this is exactly why. While, as mentioned, Vogel is a defensive-minded coach, and I do think the Warriors are a good team, the Suns just need to do better here. You have Klay, who cuts from the corner, and CP3 goes right into the pick and roll. You have to watch out for Curry, who cuts on the right side, and Nurkic has to engage in there. Then Klay comes right off, and you have two on the ball, and gets Looney the wide-open roll to the rim. Even without Beal, the Suns showed how their guards will be interchangeable in their sets this season. Right here, they go into the stacked pick and roll, and you have Book setting the back screen with KD alone in the left corner and Gordon attacking the rim to get downhill and getting Eubanks a decent enough look to draw a foul. Now, I like the Suns rotation players a lot, but I do think Goodwin has to do better here, as he works off of Moses Moody to help, but Grayson Allen deflects the ball, and it ends up in who else's hand but Moses Moody for an open three, and they got to do better than that because a good team like Golden State will kill you that way. Now, I got shit for my opinion a few weeks ago, but I do believe Nurkic will be a better 5 for the Suns than Ayton. Despite Ayton being much younger and probably just better overall, one of the reasons I believe that is Nurkic's ability to be more of an outside threat, also moving better, and also just simply not playing outside of his role. Another is his great work in the pick and roll. He has to work on the short roll and finishing, as this is a silly turnover in my eyes, but him drawing 2 is a positive sign going forward for Phoenix. And he responded to the turnover by popping a 3 on this play, and then rolling and hitting Okogie on the following play. Now, Klay was pretty deep here, and this was basically a hash mark 3, but once again, a defensive mistake from Phoenix, as you got to know your personnel and guard one of the best shooters ever tighter, regardless of where he is on the court. A lot of defensive mistakes from Phoenix last night, as here Looney screens for Curry, and KD does a great job of helping, but Allen goes full out to try and get this, and that leaves Klay wide open on the weak side, and they just got to do better. I think as they get more games played together, they'll figure this out, but the Suns got to read defense better and work on timing. KD loops and they go right into a stacked pick and roll, and the left quarter is empty with KD alone on the wing, and Gordon tries to hit the roll before the play develops, and it results in a turnover. As mentioned, Nurkic in the pick and roll has a lot of potential for Phoenix. Also, shouts to Okogie, who was the X factor in my eyes last night. Here, Nurkic does a good job of flipping the angle of his screen, and the Warriors have to clean up their rotating as CP3 goes in to help early, but he helps too high, and Okogie goes from the corner to the paint and finishes. Okay, so just keep it in the back of your mind that I said KD off ball will be huge for Phoenix this season. Right here, he goes to the pin down, rejects the pick and roll, and goes right into the pull-up, which is just so tough to deal with if you're the defense. So for all the positives I believe Nurkic will bring to the Suns, there's some negatives in there as well. A key for Nurkic is going to be when he has to work from the help position back to the level, and the Warriors found a way to tap into that last night. They get the pick and roll with a pin down, and Klay finds Looney rolling for the bucket. Many times last night, the Suns looked to put Curry in the pick and roll. Right here, he was in the show and recover, which helps Allen drive and get the kick to Okogie, who just has to find the mix on these plays and do better. He drives the closeout, but he's going to have to make these plays for Phoenix if they want any shot at contending. Now, let's finish up with another thing I don't believe, I know will be key for Phoenix this season, and that's Devin Booker's playmaking. Here you have him trying to work the pick and roll with Nurkic, and despite of the great defense, he gets the great skip pass to Okogie for 3. Right here, he reads the defense as Gordon screens and cuts to the empty side wing, and with Looney needing to help on Nurkic, Book finds Gordon, and Curry's defense was just too late. Book is an elite shooter and ISO player, I think that goes without saying, and he uses the pressure he draws here as Nurkic screens 2 times for him, and with GP and Looney doing everything to try and stop Book, he hits Nurkic on the roll that officially put the game on ice. So this Suns team has a lot of potential. While they're certainly not the deepest team in the NBA, I really like their rotation pieces and think those guys played with a lot of heart last night, despite the mistakes they may have made. I think they're going to rely heavily on Eric Gordon this season, and if you're not familiar with Yuta Watanabe's game, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I also would like to see Nasir Little improve a bit as he gets more comfortable with his Suns roster, as he had a -3 rating. And lastly, I looked at Bol, Bates Diop, and Azubuike as being key bench unit guys, yet none of those guys appeared in last night's game. So I think the sky's the limit for this Suns team. The only issues are going to come down to improving on the things I mentioned in this video, whether that's reading defenses, Nurkic's job in the pick and roll or defense, or maybe even them needing to just stay healthy in general. But at the end of the day, I think this was a very solid showing for the Suns, as I believe despite not having Draymond last night, the Warriors will be an elite team in the West if healthy that you can't sleep on. I pointed out the many mistakes the Suns made last night, and the Warriors certainly made them pay for it. But even after getting burned by their mistakes, the Suns still won, and that's a sign of a great team, and the Suns really just need to build on last night's opening night victory. Anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments what you think about the Suns or anything I talked about or broke down today. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. I'm SCJ, and I am out. Peace.